Good morning, children. Welcome to the English class. I hope you have already read the biography An Officer and a Gentleman. I suggest you read that once again and then come to the exercise part. You can pause the video, read the story once again and come back. Hope you have read the story once again. Now let's move to the exercise part. Please turn to page number 51 of your textbook. The first set of questions is regarding a reading comprehension. Fill in the blanks with the correct dates. Colonel Vasant was born on. So from the biography, we know the answer. The correct option here is option C, 25 March 1967. And question number 2, he joined the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun in. He joined the IMA in 1988. Colonel Vasant rescued a deer in Sikkim in. It was a winter of 1993. So the correct option here is option A, 1993. Fourth question, he became the commanding officer of the 9th Maratha Light Infantry in. The date was October 2006. And question number 5, Colonel Vasant died on. He died on in a tragic accident and it was on 31st of July 2007, which is option B. Let's see the second set of questions. Read these sentences and answer the questions that follow. Question number 1. It was a moment of great satisfaction to him. A. Whom does the word him refer to? Here the word him refers to Colonel Vasant Venugopal. Now question B. Which moment has been talked about here? Which was the moment? It was the moment of saving that trapped deer. So it was the moment when he went down a dangerous slope to rescue a trapped deer. Why was the moment satisfying to him? The moment was satisfying to him as he valued life in every form. And taking a big risk, he had himself climbed down a precarious slope to rescue a trapped deer. Let's move on to question number 2. Your humane attitude, coming barely 72 hours after gunning hardcore terrorists in the same area, is praiseworthy. A. Who wrote these words and to whom? So Colonel Vasant wrote these words in a note to his men of the 9th Maratha Light Infantry. What does the speaker mean by humane attitude? Humane attitude is a kind and considerate attitude towards fellow humans. Question number 3. He was a true soldier who was dedicated to the country and his force. Who said these words and about whom? The then Chief of Army Staff, General J.J. Singh, said these words. He said these words about Colonel Vasant. How had he dedicated his life to his country? He had dedicated his life to his country as he was a true soldier. In the final encounter, he led from the front and he helped gun down the terrorists in the Uri sector in Kashmir. He ensured that all 8 terrorists were wiped out before he was tragically hit by a bullet and killed. Now let's move on to the set of questions C. Answer these questions. What were Colonel Vasant's interests as a child? So we have read about his interest in reading war stories and sketching soldiers and army weapons. So how do you answer this question? Colonel Vasant's interests as a child were reading war stories and armored tanks and weaponry. His school notebooks were always filled with detailed drawings of battle tanks and uniformed soldiers. Now let's see the second question. What was the motto of this brave officer? The motto of this brave soldier was, I go where my men go. So let's see the third question. What tells you that he was a simple man at heart? So he was a simple man at heart because he craved for the simple things that everyone takes for granted, like ordering a pizza, eating hot chocolate fudge and drinking filter coffee. Question number 4. Why were the soldiers hesitating to save the day? The soldiers were hesitating in saving the day because the day was trapped in an undergrowth below a cliff. Trying to rescue him meant that they would have to climb down a steep slope and none of the soldiers was brave enough to do that. Now question number 5. How did his soldiers regard Colonel Vasant? So the soldiers regarded him with great respect. They looked upon him as a fair-minded officer, never one to lose his temper. Whenever he was angry, he became quiet. This had a great disciplinary effect on the men. They also trusted him completely. How did Colonel Vasant show great courage in the Uri encounter? In the Uri encounter, his troops surrounded terrorists in a forest, blocking their way in the Uri sector. Colonel Vasant led from the front and helped to gun down 8 terrorists before he was martyred. Let's see the next set of questions. Think and answer. There are 2 questions given there. You have to read the questions, think about it, and you have to write down the answers in your notebook. You can do this as an activity now. You pause the video, read the questions, write the answers and come back. I hope you have written the answers. So let me read the questions first. What do you think served as a motivating factor for Colonel Vasant? And the second question is, do you think Colonel Vasant was a true hero? Why? Let me share my thoughts on these questions. Let's see the first one. What do you think served as a motivating factor for Colonel Vasant? What do you think served as a motivating factor for Colonel Vasant? I think the motivating factor for Colonel Vasant was his great love for his country. This is why he joined the army. Even as a child, he had reverence for the uniform and never failed to salute a policeman on duty. See the next question. Do you think Colonel Vasant was a true hero? Why? I think yes, Colonel Vasant was a true hero. He was a very courageous officer and always led his men from the front and would be with his troops even in the face of great danger. He had leadership qualities and led by example. Whether it was in combating terrorists or in rescuing a trapped animal, he took the lead in taking on challenges. He had sympathy for the plight of villagers trapped in terrorist-infested areas of Kashmir and did his best to help them. He taught his soldiers to be humane even towards ex-militants. All these qualities make him a hero. Now we'll see the questions from the vocabulary exercise. There are verbs in English related to emotions, feelings and thoughts. And these verbs can be changed into adjectives by adding ed or ing as the ending. But sometimes this is quite confusing. So how do we decide whether to add ed or ing? There are 2 cases. When you're talking about the characteristic of a person, a thing or a situation which is the cause of the feeling, you add the ending ing, like annoying, captivating, thrilling, entertaining, etc. And when we want to describe the emotion or the feeling or the effect, we add the ending ed, like alarmed, discouraged, confused, etc. So in page number 53, you can see a set of questions based on this. Let's see question A. Read these sentences, underline the adjectives that describe the characteristics. What is an adjective? Adjective means something that modifies a noun, like a cloudy day, a happy girl. Here you are asked to underline adjectives that describe the characteristics and you have to circle the ones that describe the effect. So underline the characteristics and circle the ones that describe the effect. Let's see the first one. I was so bored I could not stay awake. So which is the adjective here? The adjective here is bored, which is an affect. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. So what do? You have to circle the adjective that is showing an affect. So you can circle the word bored in your textbook. Now let's say the second question. This book is really exciting. I want to read another one. So here the word exciting, it describes the characteristic of the book. This book is really exciting. Since it is a word showing a characteristic, you have to underline that word there. Now the third question. This question is giving me a headache. It's so confusing. So here the characteristic of the question is described. So you have to underline the word confusing. It's the cause of a feeling. Now I'm so excited about the picnic tomorrow. I can't sleep. So the word excited, the ending is ed. It is an affect It is a feeling or emotion. So we have to circle that one here. My mother was pleased with us. So it's an adjective ending with ed and it is a feeling. You have to circle the word pleased in your textbook. The next question, the film is absolutely amazing. So the word amazing describes the characteristic of the film. So it is the cause of a feeling and it is a characteristic of the film. So you have to underline the word amazing there. Now let's see the next set of questions. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of the adjective from the verb given in brackets. First one, Colonel Vasant climbed down the cliff to rescue the dash deer. And what is the adjective given? Colonel Vasant climbed down the cliff to see the dash deer. And which is the verb given there? The verb given there is frightened. See, what is the correct form of the verb frightened to be used here? It is frightened. Colonel Vasant climbed down the cliff to rescue the frightened deer. Now the second question, the colonel was a dash and dash officer, and in the first bracket respect is given and in the second bracket admire is given. So which are the correct forms of the verbs? The colonel was a respected and admired officer. The third question, although he was a fierce warrior, he was a kind and dash father, and the verb given here is love. Here it describes his characteristic. So which is the correct ending to be used with the verb love? You have to use the ending ing. So how do we write this one? Although he was a fierce warrior, he was a kind and loving father. Question number 4. Searching for terrorists was dash work, but Colonel's men upheld his noble values. So here, because of a feeling, the characteristic is explained. So in that case, which is the ending to be used? ing. So how do we write this? Searching for terrorists was exhausting work, but Colonel's men upheld his noble values. Now the last question, question number 5. Colonel Vasant was a dash soldier who laid down his life for his country, and the verb in bracket is there. Here, a characteristic is described. So which is the correct ending to be used? The ending to be used is ing. So how do we write this? Colonel Vasant was a daring soldier who laid down his life for his country. Now, let's see the next. Read these sentences, notice the highlighted words. You can see a box there. Please go through that. This humane conduct by his troops was appreciated by the colonel. In such difficult times, Colonel Vasant did everything to uphold the team's morale. There are some words that we get easily confused by as they sound similar. The word humane sounds like human, but it has a different meaning. Human means a person and humane means the quality of being kind towards others. Moral means the principles of right and wrong, and the word morale means the level of confidence and spirit. So the next set of exercises, you are asked to choose the word with the correct spelling. Even though they sound similar, the meanings are different. You have to choose the correct word. Question number 1, the options given there are lighted and alighted. Question A, they continued their match in the dash tennis court. Which is the correct option there? You have lighted and alighted. Lighted means where you have lights, enough lights. And alighted means to get down. So which one do you think is the correct option there? They continued their match in the lighted tennis court. The queen alighted from the carriage. Now the second question, round and around. Question A, the rooms were built dash the courtyard. The rooms were built around the courtyard. Tell me the amount in dash figures. Tell me the amount in round figures, like you round off numbers in maths. Question number 3, advice and advice. Both the words sound similar, but the first one, advice with the ending CE, it is a noun, whereas the word advice with the ending SE, it is the verb. So let's see the first one. Question A, she always gave me sound advice. And the second one is, please advise me at the earliest. The word advice with the ending SE means to give advice. Now the fourth question, the options given there are every day and every day. My uncle goes to the market dash. So when you write every day in 2 words, every day, it means each day. But when you write every day without a space in between, it is an adjective phrase and it means something ordinary or something that is seen or used every day or each day. So which is the correct form to be used here? The first one, my uncle goes to the market every day means each day. Now question B, not completing your homework has become an everyday affair as a one word, which means it has become ordinary. So I hope you are clear with all the questions we worked out now. Now as an activity for the day, you have to do the question from values and life skills given in page number 52. Haven't you heard about the girl Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani girl who got shot in the head for speaking up about the rights of girls to be educated? She was just 14 years old then. And she is the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. So here a question is given about her. Malala Yousafzai has emerged as a world leader due to her passionate work towards the development of children's education all over the world. Name a person who, according to you, is a leader. It could be a teacher, a friend, a parent, or someone famous. What special qualities does this person have? So you are asked to write about the person who inspired you, who has influenced you the most. It can be a teacher or a friend or anyone else, but you have to write about them. So this is your activity for the day. Please write that down in your notebook, take a picture and send us. So that's all for today. We will meet in the next class. Until then, bye.